You haven't been at the last couple of IPW shows.
Yep.
What's been the reason for that?
I'm not going to be at any more IPW shows either.
Right,
Done.
so we've seen the last of you in IPW.
Unfortunately, yep. Despite all of my best efforts to drag IPW out of the trouble it was in, it looks like the same issues that might have plagued it before have found their way back, and I think you can assume who I'm talking about here. I don't think I've ever felt this stabbed in the back before, but I mean, I've been working in entertainment for a long time, and you're used to a certain amount of backstabbing of people actually, like, you know, saying stuff about you behind your back and that sort of stuff. But you never get people who are actually just downright snaky and manipulative. And a guy like Dan Burnell, Danny, handsome Danny, whatever you want to call him, is the snakiest snake. And the fact that there's so much more to what happened at the last event, and with the investment than people really realise. And I want to clear up the main reason why I wasn't there, and what I think has actually gone on. As far as I was aware, and what I had been told, my role as the head of live events, right, I put a few things in motion. I make matches that I think are matches that are going to deliver the best entertainment value for the crowd. I try to help organise promotion, a bunch of stuff, you know, get everything rolling. But when I signed on with IPW, obviously I didn't really know a huge amount about how the wrestling business works, and Dan has obviously been the person behind IPW for a really, really long time. Mm-hmm. And I had him. I had him in a sort of advisory role, really. Like, he was kind of. I would call him up, and he would advise me as to what sort of stuff he thought we should be doing, and I would take that and I would apply my own understanding of show business to it, and what is and is not successful in New Zealand, and we'd put a show together. But he also, as I've got busier and busier and busier towards the Christmas season, I was giving him more and more responsibilities, right?
Right.
And there was one date that I wasn't able to do, and that was in November. I was booked for a tour in the Naki, and I said to Dan, can you run this show, mate? Can you just handle the sort of what my role would have been at that show? Can you run the live event? And I haven't really got the time. If you can sort of suss the matches out and just send me a list and tell me what's going on and who's doing what, and we'll figure this thing out together and it'll be fine. So, he goes and kind of does that, and, we had a bit of a plan, and then, then a few things kind of happened there that I hadn't necessarily signed off on. And then I get a call from Dan. Not even a call, David, a text. I get a text message from Dan.
That's cold, just a text.
Just a text message from Dan, and because I had, okay, let's just back up the train a little bit here.
All right.
I'm walking through the mall. This is a couple of weeks ago. I'm walking through the St. Luke's Mall, and coming towards me on the other side of the mall is James Shaw.
Right.
And I freaked out because here's a guy who I haven't necessarily been maybe as accommodating to as I could have been as his new boss. And he's coming towards me, and I'm freaked out, and he just walks up to me, and he puts his hand, and he shakes my hand, and he goes, the first thing, this guy's nuts, by the way, sure. After everything that's happened, the first thing he says is, mate, I'm not going to beat you up, whatever, in his weird little way. Just wanted to say thanks for at least for bringing IPW back. And then he goes, I do want to fight you, and I said, okay, well, let me see what I can figure out. really scared. My little soy mochaccino was shaking in my hand there. And he just leaves. He just walks off. He goes, I want to have a match with you at some point. And he takes off. And so I say to Dan, I say, look, let's do this. And I'm not afraid to admit it now, I guess. I've got nothing to lose. I had a plan. I know how this works. I was going to just put him into a no disqualification match. And I think anyone who knows anything knows probably what was going to happen from there. I definitely wasn't going to lose. Let's just say that.
All right.
So I tell Dan this is what I want to do. On the 14th of December, this is what I want to do. And Dan's told me that this is when this event's going to be. It's going to be on the 14th of December. We're going to have Nightmare Before Christmas. It'll be fans bring the weapons. It'll be huge. It'll be me versus James Shaw. The whole thing is going to be great. We're going to, it'll be. I'm heading off to go to New York for a while, so I won't be around IPW anymore for a little bit. So it'll be a great. Me defeating James Shaw is going to just be a great send off for me at the end of my entire sort of 6 months of being a part of IPW. And this is where the knife gets turned, mate.
Right.
Because I all of a sudden get all these messages on Saturday from people telling me that, and I'm on tour, dude. I'm a busy guy. I'm in a different part of this country every day, and Dan knows this. All of a sudden I find out, and maybe some people, maybe I should have had a better look at what was going on, but I thought that he had it all under control. I find out that on the Saturday just gone, this event is happening.
Oh, wow. So you didn't know until...
I didn't even know what was going on. Dan switches the date out. I get a text from him. I'm like, what's happening? And he goes, oh, sorry, mate. I had to switch the date. I'm sorry. I should have told you. I knew you were in the South Island in Dunedin doing 7 days, but it was a last-minute thing. There was nothing that could be done. And, yeah, mate. And so it's really happening last Saturday. And then I look at this photo on the IPW Facebook page. Dan's not returning any of my calls. I look at this photo on the IPW Facebook page, and there's a picture of this investment, who were the people that we had always talked about being the people that were going to push IPW forward, And that's kind of where I'm at, mate. That's what's happened to me. I came in, I did everything I could to try and bring IPW out of extinction. And I'm just speculating here, but I think that Dan saw an opportunity. Things were getting popular again. Things were ticking over again. I think he's an egomaniac. I think that he couldn't handle the fact that I was out there doing the job. He would be sitting at the commentary desk, watching me doing the job that he wanted to do. I don't think he could handle the fact that I was doing it well. I was doing it better than he's ever done it, that I speak better than he does, that I'm able to inform a crowd of how the night's going to go better than he does, that I managed to put on a more entertaining show than he was ever able to put. I think this is just me speculating, okay? This is all hearsay here, okay. But I think that he got incredibly jealous and just did this crazy as shit move of calling everyone involved to say, hey, there's been an emergency last-minute shift, it's going to be here. And I've managed to get hold of a few people who are like, we all thought that you knew, and he just said that you couldn't make it that night, and we all thought it was above board, and we all thought you were going to be back in January. I'm not here. I'm in New York next year. I'm not going to be back in January. He knows this. He saw an opportunity to take that limelight back for himself, to put his investment together, and good luck, really, to everyone involved, because the only thing that I was getting out of being involved with IPW was I'm a big-time wrestling fan, and I really wanted to see wrestling be successful in New Zealand, and being a part of those shows and being there to see, even when we had shows where it was, not as big a house as we might have wanted, everyone there's enjoying it and everyone there's having a great time. And being at the centre of that was the only reason that I wanted to do this. And to have that final event, to have Nightmare Before Christmas snatched away from me like that, because of some dude's selfish desire to put himself at the centre, to put himself in the spotlight again, is, I'm supposed to be a funny guy, but I'm pretty ropeable right now.
Yeah, that must be tough. That must be tough, going through that, Steve. So prior to Dan pulling the switcheroo on you and staging Nightmare Before Christmas, do you think you got out of IPW what you'd hoped when you resurrected the company?
No.
No?
No. I feel like it was a waste of time.
Really, the last 6 months just not panned out at all how you'd hoped?
No.
Well, that's a shame.
I mean, yeah. I am a genius, dude. He is reaping the rewards of my great planning, right? One of the things that we really wanted to do was, yes, Evie deserves to be the champion, but I wanted to make sure that all of those people were on our side of the street, right?
Yeah.
So enter Emmy Driver. What we do is we get the women's division so riled up that they'll fucking jump to whatever we say after a couple of months. And sure enough, that's happened, but who's taken the credit for that move? Dude, I haven't got... The only thing that I got out of being associated with IPW is a serious waste of my time. Oh, and, well, that's not true. A pretty amazing friendship in Vinny Dunn.
Yeah.
He and I will always have what the two of I had together. But yeah, mate. Anyway, I've got another couple of minutes. If you've got any questions you want to ask, mate, I'm an open book right now because I don't give a shit. Dude, this is the thing that people don't realise, is that, that guy, he's a dick, dude. He's a dick. Dan is an actual penis. This is not... I'm not kidding around here. I don't care anymore. I have nothing to do with IPW anymore. It's been snatched away from me. I haven't heard from this guy who I thought was helping me out, who I thought wanted to, with Steve Wrigley, he was like, dude, I'm happy to be moving things from behind the scenes. You'll be out there. You'll sort of be at the head of the ship. I thought that he and I together were going to make this thing work. And it turns out that together is not something that he can do. And if anyone who's in that investment is listening, just watch your back, because anyone who's in the IPW locker room at all, just know that when that guy's talking to you, when words are coming out of his mouth, there's a snake in the back of his mind who's putting a whole other agenda together. I never get this pissed off about anything. I never get this grumpy. I don't sit here and spit acid about people. But the Mad Butcher once said to me, the most valuable thing that you can give a person is your time. And that's what I've given Dan and IPW over the last 6 months. And then I've had that time that I've given him, balled up and just biffed right back at me, dude. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it sounds understandable, Steve. I can't really imagine what it's like to be in your situation, but...
I thought that on the 14th I was going to be... Dude, I wanted to watch Vinny crush Travis at that Fans Bring the Weapons match. I've never seen a Fans Bring the Weapons match. I've only heard about them. It was one of the things that I thought, I was going to get to actually be right there, not at ringside in the fans ringside area, ringside in Vinny's corner, you know what I mean? Right up close and personal to probably what would be the best match that would ever happen in New Zealand wrestling. And instead I'm down in Dunedin looking at Twitter on Saturday night, watching all these results fly in and going, what the hell? I mean, to his credit, he pulled it off. he plays dumb pretty well, and I think he had a lot of people fooled, but not me, dude. And like I say, this is all just me speculating because I'm in the dark. I haven't heard from him, and I've only talked to another couple of people, and this is all, everything I'm telling you right now. I've got to, I guess for legal reasons or whatever, I've got to say that this is all just second hand, but there's enough evidence in my mind out there to suggest that, yeah, he's a fucking snake, mate. Excuse my language.
Strong words. No, alright, Steve. Well, you're a busy man, so I should probably let you go. But before you head off, you got any messages for any of the fans who might be listening who are a bit concerned over the whole past 6 months your involvement?
I do have a message for the fans. For every single fan of IPW, keep going to the shows. These wrestlers are frickin' amazing, right? This is the thing that I love about this organisation, is that these are all guys who are doing this for next to no money, right? Even though we do have an investor involved, there's not really enough money to properly be paying any of these people who are going out there, right? Some of these guys are doing it for nothing some nights. These people are wrestling on pure passion, and that's what inspired me, and that's what made me want to get involved. Go to every IPW show. Do whatever you can to attend them. Support them. Get involved. Be a huge part of this IPW community. But what I really want you to do is every time Dan tries to say anything into that microphone, I want him to be fighting the biggest possible din. I want it to be frustration on his face to be visible every second that he tries to be out in front of a crowd pushing his ridiculous agenda, his pathetically over-complex ideas. Every time Dan is out there trying super, super hard to be Mr. Complex Wrestling guy who's the fucking genius of New Zealand wrestling. Every time he's out there trying to be that guy in front of an IPW crowd, I want him to get shouted down and booed out of the building, because somebody else needs to be in charge of that organisation, somebody who's actually going to make good decisions, someone who's going to make entertainment-based decisions, someone who's going to make sure that people aren't walking away hugely disappointed from every show like I did, right? Keep supporting IPW, keep supporting the wrestlers, but just do what you can to drive that man away from his own. That is the comeuppance that I want him to get, is that he winds up some manipulative, lonely snake of a man hiding in the corner of his own house, and the only way that he's able to even see what's going on in the New Zealand wrestling world is by checking his Twitter feeds and finding out about it second hand, so that he can get a taste of what that feels like.
Alright, Steve, well, thank you very much for your time. Won't keep you any longer. Sorry things had to go down the way they did. And yeah, hey,
I'm sorry things had to go down the way they did, mate. Anyway, burn diatribe over. Gonna go back to being funny now. This is probably the most serious 25 minutes of my life. Yeah, man, this is a very broken and very betrayed Steve Wrigley wishing everyone in the IPW locker room all the best with the great Satan who is now hitting you all up.